to a week. That's about 8 a month. And he made this, you may have seen this. He posted it in the event, but he made a sheet here that we're calling it Operation 100. It's our sample tracker. And so we presented it to the team and we said, hey, if you guys haven't made a goal for sampling in the past, let's do that this year. Will you join us in making a goal? It doesn't have to be the same goal as ours. It can be more, it can be less, it can be whatever you want, but let's make a goal for sampling. And that really kicked off like a huge burst of sampling with our team. And so I am so excited to present the training that we have today. And our first speaker is Melissa Topper. She lives actually just down the road from me. We live in the same super, super small town. And so it's super fun to do this with her. But Melissa, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on today. This is so much fun. And I actually jumped in with Tiffany when they launched that sample promo at the beginning of the year. I printed it off. I started doing samples. But what kind of kickstarted us for sampling was a couple of our leaders said, hey, we're going to do a mansion retreat for the leaders. And we would love for you guys to, work your business and get there. And I told my team, I'm like, we're at the mansion, you guys. We are going to this retreat. And to get there, we had to, do points and things like that. And part of that was free accounts and samples. So we were already implementing samples, but we stepped it up and really started hitting it. And what we did, we got together and brainstormed. And our team actually printed out our Facebook friends list. Guys, if you've never printed off your Facebook friends list, Google it. It's so easy. You can go right into your list on the computer. It doesn't work so great on your phone. But if you go into your computer or your Chromebook and go under friends list, there's 3 little dots. You're going to find a profile and tagging section. You're going to find your Facebook info. You can download the info. You can deselect all the things. You could print out all the things if you wanted to, but you can deselect them all and just click friends. Guys, Facebook will email you your friends list. How cool is that? And then we printed it off, guys. It could be this big. It could be this big. We printed off and we hit that list. What we started then doing was basically we started at the top. We grabbed some magic words that we collaborated on and we started messaging our friends. And we got really excited and put together an amazing magic words. So we started with, hey, Liz, I have a few Thrive mini experiences, or I put a few Thrive mini experiences together for a few of my friends, and I have a couple left over. Would you be open to trying my favorite things for a few days? No strings attached, but I would love your feedback. And we got so many responses, guys. Like, people are like, yeah, we were excited. We were using our voice, and it was contagious. So no, we did not just start throwing samples all over the place, guys. We then went into smart sampling. I know a lot of us have been on the training before on smart sampling and what it is. It's an amazing tool, and I highly suggest everyone uses it. So right now, we already shared our story or our excitement. Then we're going to create a free a free Lavelle profile in our system so that we have their free account in our system. We are going to invite them to the fan page, which is amazing, you guys. I love our fan page. It's so awesome. We are going to then, on our team, we have a customers tips and tricks page, which is fantastic. It is an invite only. You have to have a free account with us in order to get in. And so it's very exclusive and it makes people feel very special. And we get them involved in there, which is an amazing community. And it just really keeps that excitement going. And then we are putting them on a 3-way call. I never say I'm putting you on. I never say 3-way call. And I never say upline, guys. Those 3 words will have you dead in the water. I'm telling you. So what we say is, let's connect for 10 minutes and go over the steps and ways that you can maximize this sample. I put it on my friends. Like, I want you to maximize this sample. I'm not just throwing it out there and seeing what happens. So we get on the call with an upline, and we are expecting our upline to do a few things for us, right? We are expecting them to reiterate the 3 steps like we already have. We're expecting them to reiterate the timing because, we've already told them this. They've already seen it on the fan page, and now we're just washing, repeating, washing, repeating. They're also painting the picture for us that the sample is not all inclusive. It is an 8-week experience, and that picture is painted on the phone with our upline that, 3 steps might not rock your world, but 10 days to 8 weeks is. So we're setting that expectation that they may not notice a whole heck of a lot in 3 days. They'll notice how simple it is and taste that mix, but stick with us because the magic comes 10 days in. Okay, and then we go into our follow-up techniques. Just again, we're in constant contact with our free accounts and our samplers, right? So not day one, the night before. How many people have sent out a sample, message the person the next morning, and they're like, "Yay, did you start your steps?" And they're like, "Oh, I forgot." Raise your hands. How many? So many, right? I actually try to nip that in the bud before I message them the first day. So I am sending them a picture the night before of my capsules next to my bed. And I tell them, my capsules are ready. Are yours? So that gets them in the mindset, oh, I got to get those by my bed tonight so that they're starting the next morning with me. Then on day one, I'm saying, yay, day one. Isn't the mix yummy? Because we do 3 days, right? If you guys are not sending out Lavelle sample boxes, seriously, you should. Look how beautiful these are. In the back office, 3 full days of product. Lavelle has set us up amazing with that option right there. So I get in front of that mix. I want to know, did they like it? Was it too gritty? Was it the flavor? What is it about that mix? It's healthy. I was drinking a lot of soda pre-Thrive, so healthy to me was like, ooh. So I try to get ahead of that, right? And then I just troubleshoot with anything. And most people are like, you're right, it was so delicious. I'm like, yes. So later on that day, I'm popping into their messenger. I'm checking on their water. How much water have you drank today? I don't ask if they're doing well with water because honestly, pre-Thrive, my well with water was 1 glass. Like that was doing well. So I am paying up and I'm like, how much water have you actually drank today? Day 2, I'm just doing it again. Rinse and repeat. Happy day 2. Are you getting the hang of your timing? Afternoon, I'm checking in on their water again. I'm not asking them yet. How are they feeling? What are you noticing? I'm kind of waiting for that. Day 3 are magic words that Tiffany has passed down to us that she got from CEO back in the day that are seriously magic, you guys. So write this down. Day 3, good morning, friend. Are you starting to notice how good you are starting to feel? Magic, I'm telling you. They're like, oh, I really am starting to notice how good I'm starting to feel. And then I just go into my closing statements and follow up, follow up, follow up. One of my favorite closing statements is, I cannot wait to hear how you feel with 4 weeks of product in your body. A free shipping code just fell in my lap and I immediately thought of you. Open to giving 4 weeks ago and deciding for yourself if this is something for you. I always put it back on them too. So Tiffany, that is very quick follow-up going through what I do for my samples and keeping that excitement going. And I'll pass it back to you, Tiff.
Oh my gosh, I love all of that, Melissa. Thank you so much. You guys, here's a couple things that I wrote down. And I want to preface this by saying, these ladies and I have met together quite a few times over the last couple of weeks since we first got the request to do this sampling. And I feel so much smarter after talking to them. we all do things a little bit differently, but what I took from Melissa is get that friends list printed out of your Facebook list. That is gold. Don't discount anyone out, right? Get that friends list and start sending those messages. I love how she sends a picture of her capsules on the nightstand the night before they're scheduled to start their sample. That's beautiful, because if they haven't done it yet, now they're going to, right? And the part, like after she's done and she says, I've got a free shipping code, I immediately thought of you. I feel like that really makes them feel like you're thinking of them, right? It's genuine and sincere, and so I love that. So those are awesome, Melissa. Thank you so much for sharing. Our next speaker, I'm super excited to introduce Becca Tucker. She comes to us from Virginia, and I'm going to let you take it away, girl.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Tucker, and I love everything Melissa said, and I think everything she said is gold. That is so great. The way I approach it is similar, but also a little different. Just as Tiffany said, we all do things differently, and that is beautiful because because we can all relate to one of our stories, right? So the way I deal with samples, I start with my mindset and my why, and then I go down to my how. So the first thing I do is I think of it like life's the party and Thrive is my fuel, and the samples are my party favors. And I treat my social media like that. My why, I wake up every morning and I think, how can I help people today by sharing samples in my story? So I wake up every day on my newsfeed. How do I gain traction? How do I gain interest? Well, I share benefits daily, but I relate them to my personal story and the story of others just by sharing on my newsfeed. So, for example, I'm a mom of 3 kids. I'll wake up, I'll be like, oh, where are my mamas with teething babies? Praise the Lord, I have this teething baby survival kit, 3 simple steps. I get so much traction with that. I also make offers because these are great benefits, but unless someone realizes it's for them, no one's going to take you up on it. So constantly I'm making offers because, again, this is my fuel for having a great life. This is my party favor, and I want everyone at the party of life to feel as good and have as much fun as I have. So I just hand them out, but I do so in a smart way. But how do I hand them out? I do a lot of benefit posts, as I just referenced, but then at the end, I ask if people want a sample, very direct, of the secret to my benefit. Very direct. The more direct you are, the more comments you will have. Polls and questions and stories. I do this constantly. I am constantly asking for information and I'm constantly asking for engagement. I list samples. Do you want weight loss? Do you want energy? Do you want digestion support? What do you want? Give me my information. But guess what? I'm going to send the same product no matter what you tell me because Thrive has it all in one easy product. Isn't that great? I'm going to use that information to personalize the experience by the stories that I share with them, by the connections I introduce, and by the expectations I set. But it's the same product. Okay. Great. Yes, they said yes. They answered on my poll. What now? They want a sample. Let's go from there. Well, let's make you a free account because that's how I send you the sample and offers. I don't ask. I just, let's do it. This is how it happens. Let's move on. The sample's on the way. Yes. Let's get excited. Let's have a party. Meet my fabulous friends. Not my upline, my friends. How do I do this? I do this through a 4-way messenger thread on Facebook. I started a thread. I had the sampler, myself, at least one leader, and another Thrive fanatic. That could be a customer that I want to teach how to find their voice and share their story and get excited, or that could be another leader. How do I choose these other Thrivers? I choose people who are going to relate to my sampler on a human level and also on a Thrive level. How do I say that? I introduce the sampler as a person, a human with goals, challenges, and passions. Then I introduce my friends as people who can relate to their human story. Like moms, I'm going to connect with other moms. I have a former teacher. I'm going to think of a former teacher. And then they're saying, and along with being able to relate their Thrive story to give them hope for their challenges. So if someone says, I'm a mom, I'm exhausted, but I also want to lose a few pounds, I'm going to introduce them to another mom who has a great weight loss story. And I'm going to set them up as friends. I'm going to make a connection. The Thrivers in the thread will naturally respond on a human level and relate to them. Oh, yeah, girl. I remember those tired mom days. Ooh, I feel you. But don't worry, I got your answer. And then they share their Thrive stories naturally. I felt like that too when I found Thrive, but this is how I feel now. The person now has hope. And then I say, hey, everyone, fabulous people should be friends. Please connect. These are just great, fabulous people to know. Everyone becomes friends on Facebook, but guess what? They are now constantly validating my story because my other Thrivers are sharing the same story from their perspective. I may not relate to everyone, but I sure as heck know someone who can. And I'm just in charge of connecting them. So also, everyone in that thread gets their fire lit. The leaders the new thriver, everyone is super excited and we're all having a party. Okay, great. Now they have their sample. Let's walk through that. They have it in their hands. And I think Melissa just really did a great job. Do what she said. She did the follow-ups right, the timing. That is amazing. Here's a few things I do in a different, because I haven't heard Melissa's amazing advice. I talk to them daily. I hold their hands. I am with them on this journey. We are a team. I am doing this with them. I start first thing in the morning and I set their expectations. I say, good morning. I am so excited for you to yawn less today. Tell me everything you noticed. Well, guess what? They've never taken Thrive before. They have no clue what to expect unless you tell them. And you know what you're like, oh, I don't want to set them up for failure. Here's the thing. No matter what they report back, you're going to follow up with them in the afternoon. Set reminders on your phone. You will turn into a positive. Oh, I didn't notice anything the first day. Well, you know what? That's really good news, because once you feel all the energy at once, now you know it's only vitamins filling your nutritional gaps and not a bunch of caffeine. Great. Tomorrow's the day. And just keep setting expectations, turn everything to a positive. If they have a detox and they have a headache, that is amazing news. Why? Because it's obviously working. Have you ever had a vitamin give you a headache before? It's fueling your body to detox itself. That is great. You're going to have amazing results after the detox. I'm also, when they notice anything, I'm going to go back into that four-way messenger and I'm going to tell the group, I'm going to tell the team, yes, they have a little bit more energy. Yes, they're going through this. Can you share more of your story? We're all in this together. We all remember where you were at that moment because we've been there too. All right. Once they start feeling it, I am so flipping excited for you. You know, when I started taking my sample with Thrive, I never wanted to run out. And I tell a little bit of my story. And I'm like, I know you're going to feel the same way. So let's get your order in tonight. I'm available at 8. So then we get their order in. Now, here's the thing. Everyone needs, deserves, and will eventually thrive when they're ready to, because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they do it? So I don't ever think, oh no, the sample failed, because it never did. In my experience, even someone who point blank says this doesn't work for me, they always come back around. They always do. And I find out later, they just weren't in that place right now. So when they are ready, they will thrive with you. That is your mindset, because that is reality. The biggest limiting factor I've noticed with samplers is that people don't realize that Thrive will work for them right where they are, just how they are, and will fuel them to reach their goals. So I address that. I ask them, you know, where are you right now? What is keeping you from investing in yourself? What are you wanting to accomplish? And they will tell me that, and I will help them by asking, you know, how can I help you? If you're not ready to thrive right now, that's great. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. How can I help you reach your next step? And they will often tell me, you know, I just feel like I need to eat less sugar first. I'm like, great. How can I hold you accountable? And I give them a next step and I help them win, because the real reason they're not thriving is they're not confident. So I help them win. I give them one step, but while doing that, I have a natural follow-up. And my follow-up is I can message them any day of the week to ask them how they're doing with their goals. And I will constantly follow up, and I will never give up on them, because they deserve this. Thank you.
Okay, I guess I'm unmuted now. Sorry about that, guys. Don't you just love Becca's energy and excitement? I think we all need a personal cheerleader like Becca. A couple things that I just wanted to kind of touch on that she talked about, her mindset of how can I help someone today? That's beautiful. That's what this is all about, right? You know, samples being the party favors of life. Like, I just love thinking about it like that. It's such a great mindset. And, you know, the thing that I thought about a little bit differently with samples after I heard Becca talk about this is, you know, tailoring each sample to that person's goals and what their wants and needs are. I never thought about doing that before because I know that Thrive is all encompassing and Thrive is going to help with all of the things, but letting them think that we're tailoring it to what it is that they want and need, I think is just genius. So thank you, Becca, for all of those awesome tips and your sampling guide there. Okay, our next speaker is Rachel Varachka. She is someone that it took me 6 months to get her to agree to a sample, you guys. So this is one of those reasons you just don't ever give up on people. You don't ever give up on your friends when you know that they need something that you have. So Rachel, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Hey guys. Like she said, my name is Rachel Varachka. I actually live in a town of 1,400 people, not a single stoplight or a grocery store. It's actually where Melissa and Tiffany are from, and I am planted here from Iowa, actually. And a big part of my story is just never giving up on your friends, because on a weekly basis, I am so thankful that Tiffany messaged me every single month for 6 months. And, you know, I am somebody who started my experience on a sample. So I am very excited about sampling because I needed that. I needed that to get kicked off the fence. How many of you have heard from people before, I eat well, I exercise, I don't need that. I don't need a vitamin. I definitely don't need Thrive. Well, that was me. And thank goodness Tiffany just kept at it, because I'm sure you guys have had people say that to you before. I actually do have a 4-year degree in community health education with an emphasis in exercise science and psychology. I am dangerous. I am a chicken list person, right? But she kept pushing the button. And finally, 6 months later, I did decide to take a sample. And I will tell you guys that it was that sample that gave me hope of continuing. We have to be the cheerleaders, like these girls said, for these people, because the truth is we've all been burned before. We have all taken other products before. We are skeptical. I was the queen of skepticism, and it really wasn't anyone else's fault that it took me so long to take Thrive, except for my history in that. So the fact that Tiffany was blowing up her Facebook every single day, 10 times a day, with so much excitement, it was subliminally selling me that whole time. So keep that in mind, you guys, because I'm going to talk about that at the end of this, why it's so important for you to have the excitement and you to have the confidence. That's what they're buying. They're buying you, your confidence, your excitement. And so, you know, I just love to share that story because I am so thankful she didn't give up on me. I don't want you guys to give up on your friends. And, you know, I think that sometimes every once in a while we can sample and feel like nervous that it might not work out. And for me, it changed everything. So show of hands, one more time. How many times have you either given out a sample or sold a sample, or, you know, you were so excited, you know, for me, I was just throwing it out my car windows. I was meeting people in gas stations. I was going to the school parking lot. I didn't care. I needed to get Thrive in people's hands. But then all of a sudden, poof, it's like they fell off the face of the planet. Never hear from that person again. The sample is gone, or it's sitting on someone's counter. Ever, right? How many people have had that happen to them? So, right? So that can sometimes make us feel like, I don't want to do this. But, you know, your next person who needs their life changed is sitting out there. They're praying, they're hoping that you're out there. And don't let that, you know, don't let that get you down. Continue to sample, continue to do it no matter what. And all the things these ladies talked about is really what is going to, you know, once you get that sample in people's hands, they're not going to leave it on the counter if you've done your job, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit different angle of sampling deeper into your network, because really in the business that we're in, it's not necessarily who you know as much as it is who you know knows. And that's what networking is. It's getting into your friends networks and getting to meet people that you would have never met before without Thrive, without this tribe that we have. And so last year I decided to work a little bit harder to help my customers actually sample out their friends. And this is some messaging that I used for that. That can give you an idea of getting this out into people and connecting to people that you would never know, that you would never be connected on Facebook if you hadn't done this. So I'm going to read from my phone, so I apologize for looking down. But here was my message to my customer, and I tried to do this. Honestly, I haven't done it enough lately. I want to get back into it, and all the sample talk has me so fired up about doing it again. People want to feel better right now, you guys. It's spring, and it's time. So around spring last year, I said to my customers, here's my messaging. Hey, lady, I really would love Lavelle to pay for your product. Would you be open to making a short post on your wall? I can help with the words if needed, to see how many of your friends would love a free mini experience. I will supply them. I just got in extra product. Period. And it's about them, right? It's not about me. It's always about them. I want them to thrive for free. And a lot of times I found out they just don't know what to say. So if they ask for an idea, here's a short, sweet idea. My friend Rachel is offering to send out free Thrive samples for Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day at that time. I've been using Thrive for blank amount of time, and I really like the blank. I'm writing the blanks in here because I want them to fill it in. It has given me, if you'd like a free sample, comment me below, and she will send you one. And then I do ask them to put a picture. I always like a picture of the person, not a graphic or anything weird, but just like personal. Make it personal. And then, so finally when that happens, what I did, I had one customer whose comments just totally blew up, and we had about 21 people that commented, and they all wanted a sample. And so it was great. I was so excited. I actually had to put in multiple more orders because I needed more Thrive for this. But then what I had her do is I provided the customer a message to write in our three-way message thread that said, hey Liz, I'm connecting us with Rachel so she can get your address and send you a sample. She'll also be here to help you get the best results and to answer any questions you have. And then of course, this thus begins our party that we're gonna have in our message thread, which because of Becca, I'm gonna make it way more of a party than I ever did before, right? But I love putting gifts in there, like big explosions and booms, and that's just kind of who I am. I'm thriving, so I'm excited all the time. And then guess what happens, you guys? You get to friend request that person, say hello, nice to meet you. You're meeting new people, and then because your customers or even samplers that are posting these things, their excitement about Thrive or their ability to really show that on Facebook might still be at a level that isn't where it needs to be, right? But I am a loud and proud thriver. So when they're friends with me, they're seeing my news feed. Now, see, I'm selling them on how amazing Thrive is because they're seeing me in their news feed. I obviously go in there and say, hey ladies, so nice to meet you. Go ahead and put your address, email, phone number in here. That's what's going to help us make the free account. It doesn't obligate you to anything, just gets you connected to the information, and then we'll use this thread. Here's where I did something a little bit differently, is that, so this is smart sampling, right? So they're in the thread, and we're going to go through all the things that Melissa just talked about in the beginning. We're connecting them to the information, but I decided to actually make a point system around it. So making this more fun. I see other companies that do like points for activities, and then they get dollars for it. That's what this is. I put in there, here's a few things you can do while your sample is flying through the air, and should you choose to keep going and want to place an order. You get 5 points when your all access pass to the Lavelle site is created. I put a little check mark behind it because that's already going to be done for them. So a win, like Becca said, they're already getting a win. They already see a check mark. It's amazing. 5 points for liking the Lavelle fan page. 5 points for watching the video on the referral link. Of course, we want the referral link in there so they can refer back to it. 15 points for posting a picture of your sample when you get it or when you're using it. And again, I put a little script in there, ready to see what the excitement is all about. thanks to Rachel and, Liz, friend's name. I love this messaging because it takes it off of the person. It doesn't make them feel like they're trying to sell anybody anything. They're actually just using it as a thank you. And who doesn't want to thank their friend for something, right? Everybody's cool with that. And then 10 points for hopping on a 10-minute phone call to hear us talk more about our referral program. We did multiple phone calls. There was multiple posts flying around. This customer that we did this with actually switched to promoter, always the goal. Hit her VIP 800 and 1600 with these orders. So I think that about 8 to 10 orders were placed from that one post. It just shows the power of you recognizing that your friends have a lot of other friends that are also looking, for something like this, but your friend's confidence might not feel like they should be posting on Facebook. So that was something that showed me that we need to do more of that type of stuff. And I'm still friends with all those people, whether they're still thriving or not thriving. And like Becca said, like people never stop wanting to thrive. We just have to keep connected to them. So for me, following up and continuing through this and getting the orders is really about living your Thrive life out loud. Being an example of someone who is not just, once they're taking their sample and if they go to your Facebook page and you're saying nothing about it, or you're just not that excited, or you're complaining, or you're not representing like how you actually feel or being positive and stuff, the chance of a sale or continuing it's just a lot lower. So it is our responsibility as promoters. I'm not saying to be fake because I'm probably the least fake person there is out there. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see that. I'm real. But I want people to know that Thrive is helping me push myself to places I have never been before. I have done a 360 because of these products. My life has completely changed, and they need to see that. They need to see a positive tribe of people that are pushing, they're reaching for greater heights. They're eventually going to get that sample off the counter when they see that they want what you have. So again, they are buying your excitement and they're buying your confidence. And I know that I found hope in that sample that I'm forever grateful for. Our team went from 0 to 200K in 12 months because of a sample, you guys. I mean, your next 200K is sitting out there needing to experience this in their body. So just don't ever give up. Keep sampling. Keep excited about your Thrive life. And these things will come to fruition. So thanks, guys.
Loved all of that. Oh my gosh, digging into your thrivers, that's so huge. That is what networking is all about. And I love that piece about, taking your current thrivers and digging into their networks and helping them at least thrive for free, if not hit some really amazing bonuses like Rachel said. And that piece about always living your Thrive life out loud, that I think that's the key, guys. If they don't order during or right after the sample, just continuing to show them that Thrive life and all of the benefits that we're getting all the time. Eventually, like Becca said, they all want to thrive. It's just a matter of time, right? All right, you guys. So a few things that I would like to add to what these ladies said. And like I said in the beginning, I feel smarter after we have all talked about what we do and putting this all together. And so excited to implement some of the things that these ladies talked about. But as far as developing interest in a sample, there's a few things that I do in addition to these things. There are, on your profile picture on Facebook, there are frames that you can add to your profile picture. My husband has actually made a couple that talk about Sample Sunday. Our team does a lot of, we use Sample Sunday, that hashtag, all the time. We sometimes run promotions for our team to get samples out or to post about it on Sample Sunday. But he created a frame that you can use on your profile picture. And so a lot of times on Sundays, we'll change our profile picture and just add that frame for a day or two. That's one thing that, because then whenever you're commenting, whenever you're posting, people are seeing that almost subliminally, right? So that's one thing we do. When we run a sample blitz promo for our team, we are giving them some post ideas. And, over the course of doing this, it's been almost 7 years now, we have come up with some verbiage that works really, really well. One of the things that we have people post is, if I sent you a trial pack of Thrive, would you take it as directed and give me your honest feedback? I love that one because in that post, when they're agreeing to that, they're agreeing to give you feedback and they're agreeing to take it as directed. Like these ladies have said, how many times do you get people that, sit on it for a while, or they don't take it correctly, or, things like that, where they're kind of agreeing to these things when they're agreeing to take the sample right out of the gate. Another one that works really well for our team is just posting, this is no picture or anything, mailing out some Thrive samples. Drop a 1 in the comments if you want one. And then we use the, colorful backgrounds that Facebook has. And it's a call to action. I love that piece because it's, you're drop a 1 if you want one. All they have to do is drop a 1 and you're in their inbox reaching out and talking about what the next piece is. Now, we also encourage our team to validate other people's sample posts, right? And we have some ideas because in the beginning, we were just Thrivers on fire, right? And we're all just dropping 1s in their comments because we want people to see that this is exciting and fun and all that, but we also want to be authentic with it. And I think that, non-Thrivers can kind of sniff that out if it's like, I can tell that person's a Thriver and they're asking for a sample, right? And so some ideas we have, and this is huge, like, especially for people on your team, if you see them posting something about a sample, going in and validating that is huge to show the community and to show the power of a sample, right? So like when people on my team have that, I post something like, I was blown away when I started sleeping through the night during my sample, because I did. Or I noticed the energy right away, but when the digestive support kicked in a couple weeks later, I knew I'd be a Thriver for life. I'm also showing in that it was a couple weeks before I got another benefit, right? Or I love the simplicity when I sampled and wanted to see what a full month would do for me. Also kind of showing, hey, it's super simple. So those are a couple things to help people develop interest. I do sometimes have current samplers post on Facebook and tag me. I saw a lot of people asking if we charge for samples or if we give them for free. And honestly, guys, that's totally up to you. I do some of each. Sometimes I give them for free. Sometimes I'll charge $10 for a sample. But if I'm charging for the sample, I will offer a discount, or maybe they get it for free if they post on Facebook when they get it and tag me in it, right? Again, just kind of like Rachel said, we're digging into other people's networks with that. So setting them up for success, just like these ladies said, you guys, I am definitely setting realistic expectations. We are, celebrating all the wins. Anything that they're feeling, anything that they're noticing, we are definitely celebrating that, right? And the validation piece, I think that's something we can't ever get away from, you guys, is that third-party validation. I don't know why our friends and family don't just, believe everything that we're saying, but that third-party validation is huge. And something over the course of the last year that I have done, in addition to what these ladies have said, is our team has done a ton of online events. When we couldn't get together in person, we're getting together online, right? We've done a lot of Facebook interviews with other Thrivers, trying to get their Thrive experiences shared out there. And I'm using that for validation with my Thrivers, with my samplers, I mean. I'm inviting them to those events. I'm inviting them to watch a video that I'm doing. I will even sometimes offer a discount if they are on a video and engaging on it to get that validation. One thing I just used recently, I sent this out to all my samplers that hadn't ordered, anybody that had sampled in the last like 2 or 3 months, and I said, Happy Saturday. How does $25 in free product credit sound? All you have to do is jump on my live video at 9 a.m. and comment that you're watching. It will last for about 20 minutes. We'll be chatting about Thrive. You'll hear a few experiences from different Thrivers and get all your questions answered. I hope to see you there. And I'm basically, offering them $25 off if they'll just hop on with me, right? That worked really well. I actually have a new Thriver that started yesterday because she tuned in last week and got her order placed right away. So that was really fun to see that. All right, following up, you guys, I do the same thing that these ladies do, checking in every day. You guys do not let them take their Thrive for 3 days and check in at the end and say, well, how did it go? Make sure that you are in constant contact with them every day of their sample, before the sample, after the sample. You want to be in their inbox and making sure that they're having a great experience. Now, one thing I can add to that with follow-up is I am adding them to my friends list on Facebook. I know not everybody knows what that is, but it's something that I have been using and it's been awesome, right? I've been doing this for 7 years. I have a lot of friends on Facebook that are already thriving, and I love that. My newsfeed is super happy and excited all the time. I love that piece. But I want to see what non-thrivers are doing. I want to see how I can help my non-thrivers feel better and get thriving, right? And so I am putting people into separate friends lists. Let me see here. I have my computer. I have not found a way to do it on my phone, just so you know. So you're going to have to go to your computer to do this. But on the left side of your home screen, there is, different things that you can click on. If you go to see more and scroll down, you're going to see friends lists. I have been putting people in there for the last maybe year and a half. And so when somebody is done sampling and they don't order right away, I have a friends list called samplers, and I'm putting them in there. I have people that maybe have free accounts and haven't sampled or ordered yet. I have a different friends list for that. Anyway, the point of this is when you click on that, that's what your newsfeed is. It's those people. So you can go directly to the people that you're looking for and see what they're posting about. You can interact on their posts. You can, Monday mornings are a great time to do that, because if you're not thriving, you're probably not loving your Monday morning. So I love doing it on Mondays because I can, comment on people's posts that are not loving life at that point. So that is one of my favorite things to do. And then I'm going to go into closing statements real quick here. What I will say as far as closing statements, I didn't really think I had any because I don't, usually copy and paste and use the same things all the time. But what I do all the time is remaining positively persistent. Like you kind of heard from Rachel, I was reaching out to her. I do that same thing with my samplers when they're done. If they haven't ordered yet, I am sometimes not even on a Thrive level, right? I'm just reaching out to see how they're doing. Or if I saw that they posted about a vacation or something about their kids, I'm getting in their inbox, not always just on Facebook. On their posts, I'm actually getting in their inbox and asking questions about how things are going. And of course, whenever there's promotions that Laval puts out, or if I read a story on a fan page that reminds me of them, I'm definitely getting back with them and letting them know those things. But sometimes it's just, hey, how are things going over there? Your vacation looked amazing, And I also have a constant belief that I have what people want. They may not know it yet. They may not know that they want it or need it, but in my heart of hearts, I believe I have what people want. And, it's up to them when they decide to take it. But I did go back on some of my recent samplers that did decide to order and looked at some things that I had sent them. And I wanted to share that with you guys to kind of close it out here. This one was somebody that was feeling amazing on day one. I love that you're feeling so amazing already. How do you feel about placing your order now, so there's no gap in your Thrive experience? Don't be afraid to ask for the sale before their sample is done, you guys, because I know when I sampled, I had to wait for my order to come. And, I would prefer for people not to have to go without if they don't have to, right? Another one that worked well is, hey, Lisa, I know you loved your sample last week. I have 2 packs on sale right now for 10% off. Do you want me to save one for you? 10% can be whatever you want it to be. It could be a dollar amount, a percentage, either way. But what I love about this one is that you're asking a question that's a yes or no answer. You're going to get an answer back. People don't ignore you on that one. If they're not ready to order yet, they'll say, oh, no, give it to somebody that can order right away. I'm not quite ready yet, or whatever it is. But you're going to get an answer back on that. And if they give you a reason why they're not ready, write that down. Their pain point. You can go back to them, at a later time with a solution to that. So, another one I have, this is the last one, is so happy you love the sample. Now would be a great time to start your full experience so you can take advantage of the special pricing I have right now. Whatever that is. It could be my discount. It could be something that Lavelle is offering. Maybe they have a free bottle of Sculpt with a purchase, or, whatever it is. But I always kind of make it feel like it's coming from me, and that I am offering it specifically to them. So that's what we have for you, Liz. I'm going to turn it back over to you to close us out this morning.
Okay. Hey, guys. So many good points made this morning about sampling. And I think with one thread that you see woven into so many different people's Thrive experience, and you see it in the Thrivers on the Move email, you see it on the Facebook page, you see it in what these ladies were saying today, especially Rachel, at 200K started with a sample, is that for so many people, the first step is a sample, right? So like if you're not doing sampling as part of your outreach to people, you're really missing out, because for so many people, I cannot tell you, I mean, I must have read hundreds and hundreds, thousands of Thrive stories. So many people started with a sample. So to set people up for success with that sample is just key. It's just key to so many people improving their lives through the Thrive experience. So it's just wonderful golden nuggets that we're getting this morning. And I wanted to say one thing too that we do on the Instagram page for Lavelle. So if you're not following us, it's Lavelle Official on Instagram. But something we do it maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. We always do a post about samples. And we don't give samples out from corporate. You guys know, our Instagram account doesn't give samples out. But what we do is we'll do a post about samples, and then we'll say, hey, if you want to try a Thrive sample, just say so below or raise your hand, whatever. We always get a lot of responses. So if you keep your eyes on that Instagram page, if you're somebody who you really don't feel like you have people to give samples to, and maybe you've gone through your friend list, you should probably go through it again. But that's one place we always have people saying, I want to try this, I need a sample. And for us, we rely on the promoters, really, you guys, to reach out, to DM that person, to get them started. So that's just another little hot tip for you if you're looking to get more people on Thrive. So I'm going to call out 4 names for $400 in Thrive credits. And the rules are, it is 11:50 Eastern time, so it's 10:50 Central time. If you email calls@lavelle.com within the next 5 minutes, then you can get $400 in Thrive credits if I call your name. Okay, so the names I'm going to call are Heidi Zavala in California, Holly Stutz in Virginia, Dustin Henderson in Tennessee, and Susan Branson in North Carolina. So Heidi Zavala, Holly Stutz, ooh, it looks like you know somebody, Tiffany. Holly Stutz, Dustin Henderson, or Susan Branson. If you guys are on the line and you want to email in, it's calls@lavelle.com in the next 5 minutes. So that would be 11:56 Eastern, 10:56 Central. So thank you so much, and thank you everybody on the line. We had so many wonderful points being made, and this is such a terrific training. I hope you guys all got something really terrific out of it, and go get those samples out. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Super fabulous. Let's go get those samples out.